Hey folks, my name's Ed Trevors. My pronouns are he, him, and his. I'm an Anglican priest serving in the beautiful parish of St. Margaret of Scotland that sits on the ancestral and on the unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. Gwe. This morning in our scripture, we've read a passage where Jesus talks about how he's here to light a fire. He's here to light a fire in the land, that he's here not to bring peace, but the sword, to bring division. He goes on to say how he's here to pit family members against one another. You know, a family of 5, 3 will be against 2, 2 will be against 3, father against son, mother against daughter, mother-in-law against daughter-in-law, daughter-in-law against mother-in-law, so on and so forth. He's here to bring division, strife. In Ohio, as the school year gets ready to begin again, in Ohio they're asking questions about books. You know, those horrible books out there, the ones that talk about things like equality and slavery and sexuality and gender identity, those books that teach those divisive issues, that material, this curriculum that teach children divisive issues. And so the state of Ohio has, and they've done this a few months ago, they've introduced a bill, House Bill 616. It states that no school district, community school, STEM school, non-public school that enrolls students who are participating in a state scholarship program, or any employee or any other third party representing a school district or school can teach any divisive or inherently racist concepts. That includes all the critical race theory, intersectional theory, the 1619 project, diversity, equity, and inclusion learning outcomes, and inherited racial guilt. Also, as I said, the material also included in this bill, material that should be frowned upon, is material that speaks about sexuality and gender identity. These issues are too divisive. These subject matters are too divisive. Now, you can imagine this bill came from, surprise, surprise, Christians who want to make sure that our children aren't being exposed to things that are going to make them feel bad about being white. These subject matters. And other subject matters that I'm sure will come along, these subject matters make our children feel bad about where they come from. Cause division. Cause pain. For people that look like me, anyway. As it was stated in one of the articles that I read about Bill 616, it's Ohio's kick at the whole don't say gay can. Remember that bill that came from Florida? The thing I find interesting, ironic about this bill, given the fact that it was Christians who initiated it, is that I can't think of too many historical figures who were more divisive than Jesus Christ. And yet these people want to get rid of subject matter that is divisive, that causes us confusion, that makes us ask questions, that forces us to have difficult conversations. And yet Jesus comes into this world teaching a gospel that is considered new and wild and out there, and teaching it with a certain authority that nobody had seen before, and he's sharing something that is brand new. I mean, when you read the Old Testament compared to the New Testament, it's almost like it's two different gods, but it's not. It's Jesus speaking about the same God that Moses was speaking about. It's Jesus telling about a relationship with the same God that we hear. We see in the stories of Moses, in the stories of the prophets, in the stories of the Old Testament. Completely different, though. And see, ultimately, that's what Jesus meant in this scripture that I mentioned. I didn't come to bring peace, I came to bring division. I came to make you think. I came to cause you to question everything. I came to make you wonder about your life, about your decisions, about the things you know, about the things you've learned, about the things you believe. I want you to wrestle with that stuff. I want you to think about that stuff. I want you to lay awake at night pondering the various possibilities that are out there. I want you to grow, and the only way you're going to grow is if you get out of this rut. I want you to grow, and the only way you're going to grow is if you come in contact with information, if you come in contact with opinions, if you come in contact with values, if you come in contact with material that is going to make you question and doubt what you think you already know. I mean, it's not to say that other new material is going to be correct, but it is to say if it isn't correct, at least you'll be stronger in what you believe. You'll know that what you believe is good and true and you can hold on to it. But maybe that new information shines a new light from a different perspective on those things, those values, and those things, that information that you hold dear. And maybe you get to see what you have in a new way. Maybe it takes you out of what you've always known and into those places where you get to explore something new. Now, I mean, I get why parents might want to do this. I get why parents want to ban these books. They don't want their kids coming home and talking about something that they're not comfortable talking about. But that's your job. As parents, that's our job. Our job is to be the one our children bounce this stuff off of. We don't send them off to school to learn in isolation. We don't send them off to school so that whatever they learn there, they just digest and they don't think about it. No, we bring it home and let's talk about it. That's the parent's responsibility. Teachers give them the information. The child learns how to learn from us. And they do so with us. Hey, Mom, Dad, I learned this thing in school today. Well, let's talk about that. Hey, Mom, Dad, I learned this thing in school today. Hey, let's talk about that. That sounds interesting. That sounds really complicated. Let's open it up. Divisive material. Divisive material is not going to do anybody any harm. Especially when they have strong, solid sounding boards at home that they can bounce these things off of. We don't have to be afraid of theories and concepts and curriculums that we might not agree with. We don't have to be afraid of them. It offers us an opportunity to help our kids learn in new ways. It offers us an opportunity to learn in new ways. Those kinds of curriculums, that kind of material, the sorts of books, they help us all to grow. Again, we don't have to agree with it. That's not what Jesus is saying, and that's not what I'm saying when it comes to these materials. Jesus doesn't say you have to accept whatever somebody offers you. No. I've come to bring division. I want you to question. I want you to ponder. I want you to give this a lot of thought. I want you to scratch your head and wonder. I want you to doubt. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord's face be made to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord's countenance be lifted up to you. May you always know the peace of being in the Lord's presence. I pray that we won't be afraid of those things that are deemed to be divisive. I pray we won't be afraid of having our status quo shaken a little bit, or even a lot. I pray that we'll rejoice at the opportunities we have to learn whenever new and challenging information and material is offered to us. Amen. Numultus.